Welcome to 위대 한 수업, The Great Minds. I'm James Cameron, and I'm a filmmaker and I'm an explorer. As I progressed into this world of CG, wanting to create digital or computer-generated characters, whether they were monsters or fantastic creatures or humanoid characters like in Avatar. When I was writing The Abyss, this idea popped into my mind of this kind of intelligent water that could move in through the installation where the people were and communicate with them and do something. And at the time, I kind of thought of it as just sort of pouring across the floor and down the stairs and moving through the room. And then I thought, well, why not pick it up off the floor? Why not have it self-supporting column like a tentacle that came in? So I had this image in my head. I had no idea how to do it. And so I wrote it. I didn't let that stop me. I thought, well, we'll figure it out. It'll be a cool problem. And I thought, we had all kinds of ideas for how to do it. And I was thinking we could do claymation. We could have like white clay and sculpt this thing and then project water onto it that had been shot maybe like a tap faucet with the camera turned sideways, shot at 500 frames per second or something like that. I had all these different ideas on how you do it. And then somebody said, well, you might want to look at computer-generated subjects because they're doing things with transparency and water and fluid dynamics and that sort of thing. And it was all very new. So, I talked to several different people about CG and I looked at it and I wasn't seeing what we needed to do, but I was seeing little bits and clues here and there.
Of creating the digital human Lita.
We developed a tool set that allowed us to get closer and closer and closer to actual human facial expression and so on. And that was critical for Avatar.
What are you saying, Jake? You knew this would happen?
The thing, of course, that concerned us was what's called the uncanny valley. Most people are familiar with that. And it's not like the valley of death. It's not a place. It's a curve. It's a response curve that can be graphed, on an XY graph. And it goes like this. If you've got sort of cute, fuzzy robots with big eyes, you're pretty high over here. As that robot or that android starts to approach looking like a real human, our attraction to it or our positive response dips, goes way down. It's corpse-like, it's like a zombie, it's strange, it's off-putting. That's the valley. Then you come up the other side and you go, well, wow, it's so human, I can relate to it. It can tell me a joke, I can have a beer with it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the valley, the dip, is our negative response to that which approaches human but isn't, creeps us out. And I think we've all seen on YouTube or whatever robots that, they have a rubber face and a lot of servo motors and things like that, and they're not quite right and they kind of creep us out. Although I actually think the uncanny valley is a thing of the past. I actually think we think it's cool now. It's interesting, right? But that was our big challenge going into Avatar. We want to create these humanoid characters that are driven by the powerful performances of our actors, Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, and so on. And we had to, be able to take the emotion that they created and translate it into these CG characters. For my money, we succeeded. I believe we succeeded. I believe the uncanny valley was not an issue, but those characters were not human in the sense that, they had blue skin, they had tiger stripes, they had pointy ears. They were clearly somewhat alien. So we didn't have to absolutely perfectly reproduce humanity. Now, next film where we tackled this was Alita, Battle Angel. So Alita was meant to look very human, but she was never meant to be human. We knew that her body was synthetic. We knew that her face was synthetic. She was meant to be synthetic, but driven by a human mind, a human spirit.
Does it bother you that I'm not completely human?
And of course, Rosa Salazar, who played her, did a fantastic performance, and it was done with performance capture. So her mind, her heart, her emotions were in there behind that character. That said, we surprised ourselves at how real she looked. She never looked 100% real, but she looked 97% real. And that was exactly where we wanted to be. Exactly where we wanted to be. We could, if it was required, create a 100% photorealistic human character right now. And in fact, we have on a couple of shots in the film, and you'll never know which ones they are. And we intend to do a bunch more in Avatar 3 because of one of our young actors. We have some scenes that we've rewritten and changed a little bit for Avatar 3, and he's now too old to play that character. So we'll just, not a de-aging process where we photograph it and we de-age it. This will just be, we'll just use his model from when he was 15. He'll act it, and we'll apply his performance to that model, and you'll never know which shots they are. So we're there. It's doable. And it's taken 15 years to get here. The only limitation right now is that it's actually still expensive and it's very time consuming on the part of the artist, even using machine deep learning and AI to assist. So I see a lot of upside in getting AI into it more and more to improve the process of translating it to the screen.